So next Wednesday, the House Oversight Committee, chaired by Republican Representative James Comer, is going to be looking at the UFO phenomenon in the United States, along with the possible visits to planet Earth by extraterrestrial beings. Marjorie Taylor Greene, who of course sits on the Oversight Committee, however, offered reporters a different take on what could be happening, because according to Marjorie Taylor Greene, who insists, of course, she is a devout Christian, she says that all of this UFO hoopla over the years may not in fact be crafts or beings from other planets, but she says it's probably just angels from heaven, that are coming down to check out Earth, see what's happening, make sure everything's on the level. But yeah, that to her is far more likely than throughout our entire universe, the thought of life existing outside of planet Earth. Like, she thinks angels are the more likely possibility. Here's what Marjorie Taylor Greene told reporters. "I'm a Christian and I believe the Bible. I think that, to me, honestly, I've looked into it, and I think we have to question if it's more of the spiritual angels or fallen angels." She's looked into it, folks. Marjorie Taylor Greene has done the research, right? She is out there in the field with her magnifying glass and her binoculars. She is absolutely on the case, according to her. Like, hey, look, I've done the research. I've talked to people, and people say, listen, it wasn't Martians. It wasn't, the gray aliens with the big black eyes. No. It was angels from heaven, of course. Marjorie Taylor Greene, as I said, mentioned that she is in fact a Christian. She's so Christ-like, by the way, that she shared nude, explicit photographs of Hunter Biden during a House Oversight Committee meeting this past week. That's how Christ-like she is. Like, here's naked pictures of the president's son that have no bearing whatsoever on his taxes, but I'm going to bring them up because I believe in angels and the spiritual. Now, as I mentioned, what seems more likely to you, folks? That spiritual angelic beings are just occasionally popping into Earth, not really talking to anybody, just, seeing what's happening, specifically in the United States? Or is it more likely that there could be life that exists outside of planet Earth that has mastered interstellar travel and that they have gone through the world, right? I mean, if you're looking at the two possibilities, the, existence of other forms of life seems to be far more likely, considering the vastness of not just our own galaxy, but of the entire universe as a whole. But Marjorie Taylor Greene always has to pander, and she also understands something, I think, that a lot of people don't usually take into consideration. Suppose the government finally comes out and is like, all right, listen, yeah, hey, we got aliens. We've talked to them, we've met with them, they're pretty cool folks, we like them, they come over on the weekends sometimes. You know what that does to not just Christianity, but pretty much like every world religion? It destroys it immediately. Because suddenly, if we get confirmation that there is life outside of planet Earth, Christianity especially is going to take a big hit from that. So Marjorie Taylor Greene wants to go ahead and tamper expectations in case the government decides to tell us something that we may not have known, something we maybe shouldn't know. But in her opinion, not just her opinion, as I said, she's looked into it. She's done her own research. And there's not aliens out there. Just a bunch of angels, perhaps even fallen angels, which I guess would be demons, coming to the planet to just see how things are going for us. We'll find out more during Wednesday's hearing. Hey everyone, this is Aspen. And did you know that for the low cost of $0 per day, you can subscribe to the Fair and Balanced YouTube channel? We also encourage you to like, comment, and share, but again, click that subscribe button and help Aspen not be so grumpy.